Special diets like keto and carnivore are very popular. Keto's been popular for some time now, but people give the impression through that, and it's taught from a lot of people, that carbohydrates is what's making you fat, and that's simply not the case. Now, if you have diabetes or if you're pre-diabetic, that simply means your body's not working correctly. The insulin that's supposed to go take the blood sugar and then disperse it either in the muscle cell or in the fat cell, and it's typically the muscle cell, that it's not working correctly. Carbohydrates become a problem for those people, but it's because their body's not working right. People lose a lot of weight initially on keto and carnivore type diets, and the reason is they cut the carbohydrates out. And carbohydrates typically hold, say, about 3 times their weight in water, and that water is typically stored in the muscles in the form of glycogen. So when you remove the carbohydrates, that glycogen stores kind of goes away, and the water weight associated with that goes away. That's not body fat, that's water weight. But it is true the first week you may lose 6 to 10 pounds of just pure water weight if you start the diet and cut all your carbs out. Now, why do they continue to lose weight? A lot of people do lose weight on keto and carnivore diets. This is very simple to explain. Picture a big, large table full of food that represent proteins and fats and carbohydrates. If you take all the carbohydrates off of that table, you're going to remove about 2/3 of all the foods there. So you're taking away tons of foods you would typically eat, and you're not eating them anymore. You know what that does? It makes you eat fewer calories. You know what makes you lose weight? Eating in a calorie deficit over time. That's all that's going on. Think about it. There's so many foods that contain carbohydrates. It's some good foods, some bad foods, but foods nonetheless. You take away all your carbohydrates, you got no lasagna, no spaghetti, no bread, no baked goods, no pies, cakes, candies, cookies, no potatoes, no rice, no vegetables, no fruit. The list goes on and on. Carbohydrates being pulled out eliminates a ton of foods. And when you eliminate a ton of foods from your diet, you're going to drop weight because you are invariably eating fewer calories now that you've taken those foods away. It's not that they were making you fat, it's that you were eating too many calories. And now you're not, and you're losing the weight. That's simply what happens. And it's frustrating to hear people always say, oh, carbohydrates make you fat, when your body simply works on the premise of thermodynamics. All it knows is energy in and energy out. And if you're burning more energy than you're taking in, the body is going to shrink fat cells and it's going to reduce weight. If you're consuming more energy than you're burning, it's going to enlarge fat cells and you're going to gain weight. You could be in a caloric deficit every day eating only carbohydrates and you would lose weight. That's just the way the body works. I didn't make it that way. It's just the way it is. So don't be paranoid about, oh, I'm eating carbohydrates, I'm going to get fat. That's not true. Now, to back up for a second, simple sugars are a little bit different than the carbohydrates that convert to glucose in your body typically, in that simple sugars are already in their simplest form. They don't break down into glucose or fructose or whatever in your body. They're already as simple as they're going to be. So when you consume those, you do get a large blood sugar spike. Now, do that a lot and spike your blood sugar all the time over a period of time, and you'll find you're putting a strain on your pancreas. That's the kind of thing that leads to prediabetes and diabetes. And people that do those kinds of things eat simple sugars all the time, typically consume a lot of food, because simple sugars tend to make you crave more simple sugars. If you just cut your simple sugars out, but don't cut your carbohydrates from food out, eat your fruits and vegetables and grains and so forth, but cut the simple sugars out, and you'll be amazed at how well your body will perform. I hope this helps someone. I encourage you to do whatever diet you're comfortable with, but do one that is sustainable for you over the long term. Nobody wants to do something for 6 weeks or 8 weeks and then get off of it and everything go back to normal. There are sustainable diets you can do that are extremely healthy for you, giving you all the nutrients that you need without having to cut out entire macros. Please like, share, and follow. Have a fantastic day.